Well, good afternoon, Steve. It's a pleasure to have you here representing Stanulis Films.
I'm super happy to be here. It's a really cool event. It's something, my first experience, but it overly exceeded my expectations.
Great.
Yeah.
And you're just halfway through, so that's a good sign.
I'm just halfway through, yeah, so that's a good thing.
Perfect. There's a lot of exciting news going on in your camp.
Yeah, there's a couple cool things going on. We have a new film coming out in June called Clinton Road, which is basically a horror film based on a real road in Jersey, starring Ice-T, Eric Roberts is in it, Vincent Pastore, Ace Young, Erin O'Brien. There's a lot of great names, and that whole horror genre is booming right now.
Of course.
And we have something with Netflix called The Fifth Borough, which I directed, and they're taking it as a film. And it's just basically The Departed meets The Sopranos on Staten Island, hence The Fifth Borough. And we're getting ready to shoot a new film called Chronicle of a Serial Killer with Heather Graham and Josh Hartnett.
Chronicle of a Serial Killer.
Yes.
Okay,
do you ever see the movie Seven?
Sure.
It's in the vein of Seven.
It's one of my favorites. Yes.
Right. So and it has a what's in the box ending.
Oh dear.
As well. So without giving anything away. But yeah, so there's a lot, and then we have the Hinsdale House I forgot about, right?
Oh no, a new movie to give me nightmares. That's what you're giving me.
Yes, which is based on a real house, which is deemed this generation's Amityville horror.
Okay.
Which is going to be our first date. That's where I'm going to take you. And we shot the whole movie in the house, so it was actually pretty cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I live to tell the tale, so it's awesome.
Now, what would you say, how did you get to become the CEO of this film company?
Well, again, CEO, I guess everybody's going to have a name with doing this whole structure. I mean, I have a great team. You'll meet Diana, who's my manager. Donna,
looking forward to it.
Who's my casting director, and I have we have a whole team. But what happened is I have the same investors all the time, and it's all private money. Mm-hmm. And again, their pockets are not so deep. So sometimes they have to wait for something to come to fruition before I can do the next thing. So, what we wanted to do is build a machine so I don't always have to keep waiting. And, we just keep going. So when we created Stanulis Films, it was just basically a reason to continue to grow. And if CEO is the name I have to take, it's cool.
Right.
But nothing changes.
You probably wear multiple hats, I imagine.
Yes. Hopefully one day I won't have to. But yes, I'm still used to producing, directing, acting, editing. I'll probably still be involved with all that stuff. So it's not a creature of habit. But yeah, so that's the reason why I guess I became the CEO of the company.
Do you have any events coming up in the future that people should know about?
Well, we're going to the big Stanulis Films release party.
Oh, that's right. And that is, when is that happening again?
Tonight.
Tonight.
Upstairs, I think. No, but we're going to... what room? No, we have March 31st is we actually at the Garden State Film Festival. We're the closing film.
Okay.
Which I thought was ironic that it's in Jersey.
Sure.
So we're closing with Clinton Road, and then with the Philadelphia one, right? Yeah. Which is a huge festival because it's an Oscar nominated festival.
Right.
So.
And that's it. What?
Well, March 31st is next Sunday.
Right.
And then I think the other one is in April. Yeah, so those are like the immediates.
Oh, great. So if they attend the festival, they'll be able to see these films.
Yeah, they'll get a sneak peek before it goes to theaters. Yeah.
What are you looking for today?
We're just looking for a raise of $10 million. Mm-hmm. And what that'll do for me will be allow me to do 2 films a quarter.
Right.
Which will give me 16 films in the next 2 years. And again, with the budgets where we are and the names we have, I mean, every single's a profit. So, but again, when you're dealing with people that don't have deep pockets, you ask for $500,000. It's to anybody, $500,000 is a lot of money. But this allows me to do it at my leisure.
Well, you're in the right place to make those
goals it seems so.
And achieve those guidelines that you put in place. What have you found has been your biggest challenge thus far?
At NEBA?
Not necessarily at NEBA, as your company has grown to this level.
Again, the biggest challenge, like always, is making a film from inception to the end, and then having to go and raise $1 all over again on the next film.
How do you choose your scripts?
A lot of times I come up with my own concepts. in the shower, which is crazy. I'll come up with like the concept,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll come up with a.
And then you bounce it off your team, probably like, I have an idea. What do you guys
Well,
think?
I said is the idea, and I have writers who I
Sure.
work with all the time, and then I'm not a writer. I have too much ADD, but I'll tell him what I want. He'll write it, and then I'll read it, and I'll say, okay, this is great. Let's change this. Let's do this, and what have you. And that's basically the process. But that doesn't mean I won't do other films.
Sure.
Somebody presents me with a great script that makes sense, I will do it. Like Chronicle of a Serial Killer is not mine. So
Are you limited to locations, or are you global? Are you
No, no, I
everywhere?
mean,
Are you fond of certain areas more than others?
well, what we try to do is, again, because we are trying to stay in a smaller budget world,
Right.
we try to shoot in states that give good tax credits. And New York, luckily, gives 35%.
That's
LA,
awesome.
LA sucks, by the
Oh.
way. It's not even. But New York is 35%. So I'm sorry, 30%. So basically, I was saying in there, if the film is a $500,000, we get back 150,000 as long as we shoot on a sound stage for 3 days. So now my $500,000 film becomes 350,000. So you get somebody like, I don't know, a Heather Graham,
Mhm.
or even a Tara Reid. Their names on that level are worth 10 times that.
Well, absolutely. And then
So you
sure.
put that together with a great cast. I mean, it's
that and
almost
your accountant must love you too, because you're
yeah, I know.
doing a friendly film, right?
Right,
Just
right.
from
And the
his
nice thing is too
perspective.
now.
Or his CFO.
Before in the past, I had every new film I had to open up an LLC because there's different investors and so I have like 100 LLCs. So everything will go through Stanulis Films. And the cool thing is, we're not only doing films and TV, but we're opening up a soundstage.
Mhm.
We have a management company we're acquiring and partnering up with. We have
Look at the growth. amazing.
distribution company we're going to do.
Sure. Distribution's
So-
huge.
Right. So we want to take it. We want to be involved in every platform.
Have you always known that you were going to be involved in the film business?
No, it's weird because
Do you remember that epiphany moment where you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in.
I was a New York City police officer. I got injured. But prior to getting injured, I worked with Leonardo DiCaprio as a security with him. But it was a unique situation because whatever he did, I did. It wasn't like wait here or what have you. And I went to a party with him one day, and I was just talking to a guy who was producing a film called The Replacements. And he's like, "You ever play football?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." So he's like, "You'd be great." So next week, I'm on set with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman playing a backup quarterback in the Baltimore Ravens Stadium. I'm like, "Wow, this is pretty cool," And then I ended up doing a little thing in Gangs of New York, Daniel Day-Lewis and Leo, and
Great movie.
things have happened since. And then that access went away, and then I had the bug, and I just started creating my own things. And plus, I've been on The Deuce, Sopranos. I pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I mean, I've been on a lot of stuff as an actor as well. Well, like I said, I kind of like controlling my own destiny. You know what I mean? I don't
Of
like waiting
course.
for the phone to ring.
Exactly.
So it just changes everything. We appreciate the interview.
Absolutely.
And we're having a blast at NEBA, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the day brings.